Good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with the financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening of Tuesday, the 8th of August, 2023, just after 5:35 p.m. Central Time. So it's going to be a quiet day tomorrow. We're going to get the mortgage numbers and other things. It's the next 2 days that get exciting. You're going to get the CPI number on Thursday. You're going to get the PPI number on Friday. We walked in today where Moody's had downgraded banks, and that put a spook in markets. So did the numbers out of China, which are terrible. I mean, China's export-import numbers are really poor and getting worse. They have big troubles in their property sector. It's getting worse because they've been drifting sort of sideways, and without them doing anything, that only lasts so long, and then something terrible happens. They haven't bit the bullet yet. Remember, I keep saying they talk the talk, they don't walk the walk. Eventually, they'll have to do the walk. It'll surprise us. It could always be on a weekend. They like to do things over weekends, so we will see if that happens or not. I've heard nobody talking about it, so I don't want to put that in your ear that it's going to happen. When we look at the energy markets, they certainly reeled from that because the first thing that I looked at when I saw those numbers, I went and looked up and saw that, yes, in the month of July, China's been, if you will, importing less oil. That's the most logical. The other market that would get hit off that news, Australia, one of their big trading partners, right next to them. And certainly that got hit. The dollar got a bid off that news as well. Then in America, when Moody's came out and it did the credit the downgrades for a lot of the regional banks, is it too little, too late? I question it. To be very frankly, I do. I think the market's priced in a lot of this already. I realize what they're doing, and that's what they're supposed to do as a credit agency. But I think the market's already built some of that in, is what I'm trying to say. When we look at the S&P 500, we're in a bit of a correction. Not really. We're up 0.39 for the week. So yes, you're off the top, but so what? I mean, you haven't turned really down sharply. You see, when you go to the daily chart, we were looking for a correction to happen, and we're in it. Lower highs, lower lows. Now, remember, when we're dealing with these stock indices, I did a special report right here, and I'll come back to all these charts for you. And in them, I cover all the stock indices on a daily basis between August 4th to right into Christmas, and I show you what they've done on a 20-plus year basis, a 15-year basis, and a 5. I want to take it into those three. I show you the different lines, where they're at, and I can move the cursor and do in the video and show you the different days, where you're at any point in time, what's going on. I discuss the idea that do you have weak August, do you have weak Septembers? Those are traditionally 2 months traders think are weak months. September is often weaker than really August. And then how you come out of that, and you typically get a year-end rally. You've heard that term a lot. The report's going to go off the website on Wednesday. So tomorrow's your last day. Move your cursor up here. Give it a click if you want to watch it. Go to iraepstein.com, and under the word research, it's there as well. Okay, that's how you can view all this. Now, again, be careful. We're getting ready for the big events of the week, which are going to be CPI, PPI, and they'll be their 15 minutes of fame, if you will, for each one come Thursday and Friday. But in this market, we're certainly in a downtrend. Big supports all the way down here for moving averages. What's in front of that? I'd say Bollinger Bands. And you started hitting the bands now over the past 3 days. You haven't hit it yet tonight, but it might. And that's where the market battle is. Now, so often you see how these bands work. If you watch me on a regular basis, you know I am a true student of them. I work them a little different than most traders. I tie them together with the slow stochastic, my version of that. If you want my versions on if you use TradingView, for example, just go to our website. Under Client Resources, you'll see TradingView, iraepstein.com. Under Client Resources, TradingView, click it, sign up for it there. The next business morning, we come in and we activate it for you after you've done that. But as you can see, you're working your way down right through here into a support zone. trend down, bias down, and oversold. Same identical thing in the NASDAQ. And I was writing about this today saying, gee, look at how many of the markets are at the Bollinger Band. You're not there in the Dow. The Dow's managed to stay away from that, but you are there in the Russell doing the identical same thing. Now, what's the magic of this? In order to get another leg down, you've got to take the embedded readings. What you typically do is they'd embed. You're nowhere near it. That does not mean you can't drop. What it means is it's probably getting a lot of short covering coming in right here. Then we get to the bonds and notes. And when people saw the slowdown in China, the rates, the credit ratings, I didn't mean rates, credit ratings dropped by Moody's, they started buying bonds and notes. You can see this. And all of a sudden, again, if you came out on the first challenge of a Bollinger Band, I walk you through this just so often, and understanding are you embedded or not and how that all works. Again, it did its job. I can't say it any clearer than that. You are in a trend in the dollar index. You're upward. You're caught between the 100-day in green to the upper Bollinger Band and 200-day average, and I would expect you to have a hard time getting and staying over that average in the Bollinger Band. In the euro, the battleground's the 100-day average. It hasn't even made a run to the Bollinger Band or the 200 underneath it. No trend, by the way, a higher high and lower low. The British pound, I want to get a good rally here. I think the pound is doomed to more weakness over time. I keep looking at the weekly charts, and what I'm seeing there looks like a bearish picture. I was looking here after you lost the embedded reading. See how the red line got back over the 20 number. That ended this decline. Maybe you reach for the upper Bollinger Band, but you are in an uptrend. Support's back at the 18-day average until you take out this low right here, and you're still looking for somewhat higher prices. The differential finally between Brent and WTI got a bounce in it. You had gotten down to the 380 area, and now you're back to 401, so you've added about 20 cents or so into it. The Saudis again saying that they will do whatever they have to do to support the energy prices. Code word, they'll keep production cut or they'll cut more. And the market likes what it is seeing. As long as you're embedded, I am in the bull camp, looking for another challenge of the upper Bollinger Band. Same here in WTI. Why not? So these breaks, interesting. I'm a little nervous on the weekly charts because you're already in some of these at upper Bollinger Band. So be a little cautious there, but there's certainly an uptrend. Gasoline has a seasonal uptrend that kicks in starting right around the corner here. Be careful. Momentum is still pointing down. Price action's up. You have an outside day to the upside. Support should be in the 278.60, and you should not take out today's low if you're going to stay in an uptrend of 273.59 would be my thinking. And in nat gas, you went from a challenge of the upper Bollinger Band to the lower, back up here, sideways action. Remember what I have warned you. Eventually, this sideways action leads to big things. You don't stay sideways all that long. You will come out of this. If it's an upside breakout, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but wherever the 200-day average comes in could be the number. You got a long ways to go to prove it can be the downside, and you are overbought as can be, not trying to embed. So again, interested, want to see the stock report, move your cursor up here. Ira Epstein.com under the word research comes off tomorrow. You have yourself a good day.